Welcome to Real Free News Radio, where unfiltered truth pierces the veil of mainstream deception. This broadcast delves into gripping accounts of unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, alleged extraterrestrial encounters, Bigfoot sightings, and bizarre anomalies across the United States in 2025. From glowing orbs defying physics to shadowy creatures stalking the wilderness, these stories challenge official narratives and demand public scrutiny. Each incident, supported by witness testimonies and occasional technical evidence, exposes a suppressed reality that transcends conventional understanding, presented with unrelenting intensity for an audience seeking raw, unfiltered content. New York's skyward enigma. In 2025, New York State emerged as a UAP hotspot, with 66 reports meticulously cataloged by the National UFO Reporting Center. Witnesses, including seasoned pilots, engineers, and suburban residents, observed glowing orbs, silent triangular crafts, and shape-shifting lights performing maneuvers that defy aerodynamic principles and known physics. These objects, often metallic and pulsating with eerie luminescence, hovered over cities like Syracuse and rural Hamilton County, accelerating from standstill to hypersonic speeds in moments. Observers reported objects vanishing, reappearing, or splitting into multiple entities, behaviors no human technology can replicate. Radar data, though rarely declassified, corroborated several sightings, showing patterns that baffled air traffic controllers. The audacity of these phenomena, appearing in broad daylight over populated regions, suggests a deliberate challenge to human perception. The government's dismissal of these accounts as optical illusions, weather anomalies, or foreign drones collapses under the weight of consistent testimonies from credible professionals, who endured public ridicule for their reports. New York's history of UAP activity, notably the 1980s Hudson Valley Wave, reinforces a pattern of unexplained sightings, with 2025's surge indicating increased frequency and visibility. The Pentagon's refusal to release full radar datasets or engage with civilian reports fuels speculation of advanced technology or extraterrestrial origins, as no terrestrial craft matches the described capabilities. Physical traces, such as electromagnetic interference on vehicles and burned vegetation near sighting locations, further validate witness accounts. The public's growing demand for transparency clashes with official narratives that trivialize these events, branding witnesses as delusional or opportunistic. The sheer volume of reports, coupled with technical corroboration, points to a phenomenon that refuses to be buried under bureaucratic denials, compelling a reevaluation of what dominates America's skies. Houston's celestial intruders. Houston, Texas, solidified its status as a UAP epicenter in 2025, with 472 sightings since 1995, according to the National UFO Reporting Center, and a dramatic surge this year. Witnesses, from truck drivers to aerospace engineers, described disc-shaped objects, glowing spheres, and pulsating lights hovering silently over the city's sprawling metro area. These crafts, metallic with no visible propulsion, moved with precision and speed that defy gravitational constraints, accelerating to thousands of miles per hour instantly. Radar data, sporadically leaked by whistleblowers, confirmed objects performing impossible maneuvers, yet the Pentagon withholds comprehensive datasets, citing national security. Official explanations, whether balloons, Chinese drones, or atmospheric phenomena, crumble against consistent witness accounts and video evidence showing objects morphing mid-flight. The boldness of these sightings, occurring over a major urban center, suggests a phenomenon unafraid of exposure. Houston's history of unexplained lights, dating back to the 1960s, aligns with 2025's escalation, with reports clustering around industrial zones and coastal areas. Physical evidence, including burned vegetation and disrupted electronics, corroborates witness claims, yet authorities dismiss them as confused or attention-seeking. The public's frustration mounts as the government sidesteps demands for transparency, offering vague assurances of investigations. These celestial intruders, outperforming all known technology, point to a reality beyond official control, challenging the public to reject sanitized narratives. The phenomenon's persistence, with increasing visibility, confirms a truth that refuses to be ignored, exposing a reality that transcends conventional understanding. New Jersey's drone deception. In late 2024 and throughout 2025, New Jersey skies hosted mysterious objects labeled as drones but suspected to be UAPs, prompting FBI investigations with no clear resolution. Witnesses, including commuters, pilots, and law enforcement, reported green fireballs and jellyfish-like entities with multicolored, pulsating lights hovering over highways in coastal towns like Newark and Jersey City. These objects, described as fluid and shape-shifting, executed instantaneous direction changes and vertical ascents no known drone can achieve. Radar data, heavily redacted, allegedly confirmed anomalies moving at speeds exceeding 1,000 miles per hour, yet officials claim foreign espionage or atmospheric phenomena. The brazenness of these sightings, in densely populated areas, suggests a phenomenon thriving on visibility. Witnesses faced relentless ridicule, branded as paranoid, despite corroborating accounts from diverse sources. New Jersey's history of unexplained lights, notably the 2001 Carteret incident, strengthens the case for a non-human presence, as patterns of silent, glowing objects persist. The government's refusal to declassify radar data fuels speculation of advanced technology or extraterrestrial origins. The public's demand for unfiltered truth intensifies as these incidents expose a reality beyond official narratives, with consistent descriptions challenging dismissive explanations. The phenomenon's visibility, over major infrastructure, points to a deliberate defiance of human control, demanding investigation over sanitized denials. These events, coupled with historical precedents, confirm a persistent reality that refuses to be buried under bureaucratic obfuscation. Pentagon's unresolved anomalies. The Pentagon's 2024 All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office (ARO) report documented 757 UAP cases, with 4% classified as anomalous, including green fireballs and jellyfish-like objects with flashing, multicolored lights. In 2025, these unresolved cases, concentrated in California, Nevada, and Arizona, fuel speculation of advanced technology or extraterrestrial origins. Military pilots, including former Navy aviator Ryan Graves, reported objects moving at hypersonic speeds, performing right-angle turns, and hovering without visible propulsion, corroborated by radar and infrared systems. The Pentagon's claim of no extraterrestrial evidence is undermined by its refusal to release unredacted datasets, leaving witnesses dismissed as unreliable despite technical corroboration. The gall of these objects, appearing near bases like Nellis Air Force Base, suggests a challenge to national security protocols. Historical cover-ups, like Project Blue Book's termination in 1969, reveal a pattern of suppressing UAP evidence, with officials like Sean Kirkpatrick accused of withholding data. Physical traces, such as electromagnetic interference on aircraft, and consistent accounts from credible sources defy mundane explanations, optics, weather, or foreign tech. The public's frustration mounts as AARO's vague reports fail to address these anomalies, which outperform human technology. The phenomenon's persistence, with increasing visibility, confirms a truth that demands scrutiny over sanitized denials, exposing a reality beyond official control. Missouri's 1941 crash revelation. In 1941, Reverend William Huffman allegedly witnessed a crashed craft in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, containing small, hairless beings with large heads and almond-shaped eyes, as recounted on his deathbed and shared on X in 2025. Huffman, a respected clergyman, described military personnel securing the site, ordering secrecy under threat of repercussions. The beings, grayish and non-human, align with modern UAP occupant reports, suggesting a decades-long phenomenon. The government's dismissal as folklore or a weather balloon hoax fails to address Huffman's credibility and the consistency of his account with cases like Roswell. Physical evidence, including metallic debris and burn marks, was allegedly removed by military forces, leaving no trace. The nerve of this event, involving tangible remains and multiple witnesses, challenges official narratives. The story's resurgence in 2025, amid a UAP surge, underscores a suppressed truth. Alleged men in black intimidation points to a concerted cover-up. The public's demand for transparency grows as Huffman's account, corroborated by family, exposes a reality beyond conventional understanding. The incident's parallels with modern sightings confirm a persistent phenomenon that demands investigation, not dismissal. Kentucky's 1976 abduction horror. On January 6, 1976, Mona Stafford, Louise Smith, and Elaine Thomas reported a harrowing abduction in Stanford, Kentucky, after a red glowing object and blue beam engulfed their vehicle. In 2025, this case resurfaced on X, with witnesses describing missing time, physical burns, and psychological trauma consistent with non-human contact. Deemed credible by investigator Leonard Stringfield, the women faced ridicule yet maintained consistent accounts of being taken aboard a craft by entities with large eyes and telepathic communication. Physical evidence, including burns and disrupted car electronics, corroborated their claims, yet the government dismissed the incident as a hallucination. Alleged men in black intimidation suggests a cover-up. The daring of this daylight abduction, witnessed by others, challenges explanations of mass delusion. The case's revival in 2025, amid similar UAP reports, points to a persistent phenomenon. Polygraph tests and detailed descriptions expose a reality beyond conventional science, demanding scrutiny over sanitized denials. The government's silence fuels speculation of extraterrestrial origins, as no human technology matches the craft's capabilities. Oregon's Concert Lake mystery. Concert Lake, Oregon, remains a focal point for bizarre phenomena in 2025, with reports of a monster linked to UFOs crashing into its waters. Ranchers and fishermen described a tall, shadowy creature running alongside a truck at 35 miles per hour, exhibiting unnatural agility. The lake's unexplained disappearance, leaving cracked earth, adds to the enigma, with 2025 accounts detailing glowing orbs and electromagnetic disturbances. The government's dismissal as folklore ignores physical traces like trampled vegetation and anomalous soil readings. The chutzpah of this phenomenon, blending cryptid and UAP elements, suggests a reality beyond conventional science. Oregon's history of unexplained sightings, from Bigfoot to glowing lights, strengthens the case for a non-human presence. Witnesses faced ridicule, yet their consistent descriptions defy mundane explanations. Radar data allegedly confirms objects entering the lake, intensifying public demand for truth. The phenomenon's visibility, near rural communities, points to a defiance of human understanding, demanding investigation over sanitized narratives. Bonnybridge-inspired U.S. sightings. The Scottish town of Bonnybridge, with over 6,000 UFO sightings, inspired comparisons to U.S. hotspots like Nevada's Area 51 in 2025. Reports from Ohio and California detailed metallic, silent crafts hovering over highways, performing maneuvers no known aircraft can achieve. Motorists, truckers, and pilots described objects splitting into multiple lights or vanishing, corroborated by sporadic radar data. The government's claim of foreign drones fails to explain hypersonic speeds and right-angle turns. The cheek of these sightings, in populated areas like Cleveland, suggests a phenomenon unafraid of exposure. Witnesses face dismissal, yet their accounts align with Bonnybridge's glowing, shape-shifting crafts. The public's frustration grows as authorities withhold radar data. These incidents point to a reality beyond official narratives, demanding scrutiny over sanitized explanations. Coin helicopter encounter. In 1973, a U.S. Army Reserve helicopter over Mansfield, Ohio, encountered a 100-foot-long cylindrical object, as reported by Captain Lawrence Coyne and his crew. In 2025, this case resurfaced for its credible military witnesses, describing a craft with green and white lights, hovering and accelerating impossibly. Radar confirmed the object, yet the government dismissed it as a meteor. The boldness of this encounter, involving trained personnel, challenges official denials. Electromagnetic interference and ground witness accounts corroborate the crew's testimony. The case's revival in 2025 points to a persistent phenomenon that defies conventional science. The government's refusal to release radar data fuels speculation of a cover-up. USS Nimitz Tic-Tac incident. On November 14, 2004, the USS Nimitz Carrier Strike Group tracked a wingless, oblong craft off San Diego, dubbed the Tic-Tac, as reported by Navy pilots like Ryan Graves. In 2025, this incident remains a cornerstone of UAP discussions, with radar and infrared footage confirming impossible speed and rotation. The craft, white and seamless, outperformed all known aircraft. The Pentagon's 2020 video release, with no explanation, fuels speculation of extraterrestrial origins. The defiance of this craft, near military assets, suggests a challenge to national security. The government's dismissal ignores technical corroboration, demanding scrutiny over sanitized narratives. Roswell's enduring legacy. In 1947, a crashed craft near Roswell, New Mexico, allegedly contained non-human debris, spirited away to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, as reported by W. W. Brazel. In 2025, new cover-up claims keep this incident alive, with witnesses describing silvery, lightweight remains. The government's weather balloon explanation collapses against consistent accounts and military secrecy. The temerity of this event, involving physical evidence, suggests a reality beyond official narratives. Men in Black intimidation points to a cover-up. Roswell's legacy demands rejection of sanitized explanations. Carteret V formation lights. On July 14, 2001, drivers on the New Jersey Turnpike near Carteret witnessed orange and yellow lights in a V formation, corroborated by FAA radar. In 2025, this mass sighting resurfaced, with witnesses describing a silent, glowing formation. The government's dismissal as flares fails to address radar data. The effrontery of this public display suggests a phenomenon thriving on visibility. The case's revival demands scrutiny, exposing a reality beyond official control. Pascagoula's alien abduction. In 1973, Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker reported being abducted by gray, wrinkled aliens while fishing on the Pascagoula River. In 2025, this case resurfaced for its detailed testimony, with witnesses describing physical examinations and trauma. Deemed credible, they faced ridicule yet maintained consistent accounts. Men in Black intimidation suggests a cover-up. The impudence of this daylight abduction challenges delusion explanations. The case's revival demands scrutiny, exposing a non-human reality. Pacific Northwest Bigfoot surge. In 2025, Washington and Oregon reported Bigfoot sightings near Mount Rainier, with hikers describing a 7 to 8 foot tall, hairy creature. Blurry photos on X align with accounts of unnatural speed. Witnesses faced ridicule, yet consistent descriptions defy bare explanations. The brashness of these sightings, in well-trafficked areas, suggests a creature evading capture. The region's Sasquatch lore demands investigation over sanitized narratives. Skinwalker Ranch anomalies. Skinwalker Ranch in Utah reported glowing orbs, electromagnetic disturbances, and Bigfoot-like entities in 2025. Investigations documented burned soil and anomalous readings, defying conventional explanations. Witnesses described a convergence of UAP and cryptid phenomena. The government's dismissal fails to address consistent data. The pluck of these events, on a studied site, challenges official narratives, demanding investigation. Michigan's 1994 UFO wave. In 1994, over 60 people in Michigan reported a UFO wave, with silent, triangular objects. In 2025, this event resurfaced, with witnesses describing lights defying technology. Radar corroborated some accounts, yet the government dismissed them as weather anomalies. The insolence of these public displays suggests a phenomenon refusing concealment. The case's revival demands scrutiny. Area 51's whistleblower claims. In 2025, Matthew Brown claimed a secret UAP program, Immaculate Constellation, hid non-human technology at Area 51. His allegations, dismissed by Sean Kirkpatrick, challenge official denials. Historical pranks like Yankee Blue suggest deception. The grit of these claims, backed by Brown's credentials, demands transparency, exposing a reality beyond official narratives. World War II Foo Fighters resurface. In 2025, World War II-era Foo Fighters, glowing orbs following aircraft, resurfaced after German gun camera footage emerged. Pilots described impossible maneuvers, corroborated by Allied reports. The government's dismissal as optical illusions fails to address visual evidence. The moxie of these phenomena, during wartime, suggests a non-human presence, demanding investigation. West Virginia's Mothman revival. In 2025, West Virginia reported sightings of a winged, humanoid creature near Charleston, echoing the 1960s Mothman. Witnesses described a tall, silver humanoid-like figure with glowing eyes. The government's dismissal as mass hysteria ignores consistent accounts. The spunk of these sightings suggests a phenomenon refusing concealment, demanding scrutiny. Texas Chupacabra attacks. In 2025, Texas ranchers reported livestock attacks by a chupacabra-like creature, described as a hairless, dog-like animal with spines. Officials dismissed them as coyote attacks, despite drained carcasses. Witnesses faced ridicule, yet consistent descriptions defy mundane explanations. The bravado of these attacks suggests a creature evading capture, demanding investigation. The truth demands exposure. The 2025 surge in UAP sightings, alien encounters, and cryptid reports, from New York's orbs to Texas's chupacabra, reveals a reality suppressed by official narratives. Credible witnesses, radar data, and physical traces defy hoaxes or natural phenomena. Historical cases, from Roswell to Pascagoula, align with modern reports, suggesting a persistent non-human presence. Whistleblowers like Matthew Brown expose programs like Immaculate Constellation, while pranks like Yankee Blue reveal deception. These incidents, from Foo Fighters to Mothman, demand scrutiny. The phenomenon's visibility challenges sanitized narratives, pointing to a truth beyond earthly confines. The evidence, testimonies, footage, and traces confirms a reality that refuses to be buried, urging rejection of official silence.